Are you unemployed, unemployable, or underemployed? You know, your entire school system is centered on getting a job instead of creating a job. If you did really well in high school and college, you may just really need structure, right? That's possible. You may even love having the structure, and that's great as long as it works for you. Or until an employer downsizes or someone in the corporate hierarchy decides they just don't require you. Then that structure has become a life trap and you're stuck. So the questions come. Why have I spent my life here? What's wrong with me? I'm better and smarter than most of my bosses. How come I'm not the boss? Why am I just getting by? I was expecting to be rich. Well, here goes. You spent your life there because it was safe. What's wrong with you is that you just figured out that your life was not in your hands. It was in the hands of others. You're not the boss because you've been taught to follow, not lead. Finally, you're not rich because you were happy just getting a paycheck for your time instead of using your time to find something that you're passionate about and turning that into a paycheck. So, how do you fix this? If you're still here, you've already started. The decision to find information and educate you is the first step. The next step is to convince yourself that you are, in fact, everything you used to think you are. Because you are, and more. How many teenagers, and seriously, how many teenagers are smart enough to run the country? If I recall being a teenager, it was literally all of us. Every single one of us could have done a better job running the country in our own minds. Now, can you remember having all of those answers just right at your forefront? Bang, there it is. Now as an adult, they're a little bit fuzzy. While teenagers may not have the correct answers, the attitude of I can do anything, that is right on the money. You can do anything, but you gotta set your mind to it. The future is wide open when you're a teenager. So why does that change? Is there no tomorrow for you once you're actually out in the world? As far as I'm concerned, since the beginning of time, there has always been a tomorrow. So how can you just do anything you want? It's actually simple. When you believe in yourself, you find a way. You find a way. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So self-confidence is really important. A belief in you. So, people will tell you that you can't do something simply because they themselves do not have the ability to do that. Therefore, neither do you. Well, that rationalization might make sense. You know, you're not as smart as that person. You know, you don't have as much business experience as that person, right? You know, so maybe, you can't. Maybe you don't have the money to jump in, so, screw it, right? Maybe if you're over 35, you've lost the ability to learn new things. I mean, that happens, right? Once you hit 35, the brain goes. Because, yeah, that happens. How many people will tell you that responsibilities weigh them down? The routine, the day-to-day living, hey, folks, all that stuff that's weighing you down is quite literally your life. It's your life. And you're saying that is living you down. It's just not right. Your attitude towards that day, that's weighing you down. Your actual existence is preventing you from attaining your dreams. What a load of garbage that is. Period. Exclamation mark. So what happened to your dreams? Whose life is this anyway? Are you going to do better in your next life? That's the thing too, right? In my next life, I'm going to be. So just when are you going to start making your daily life what you want it to be? Based on the fact that you're still listening to me, let's go with today. Good for you. You just happen to be in a very small and special group. You're a doer, not just a talker. I have been hearing a saying for most of my life, and I'm sure that you know this one well. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Yeah, that's nice, but so what? So what if you could teach yourself to look at every new day as an opportunity? An opportunity to make one part of your life better. An opportunity to learn something you have an interest in. An opportunity to reach out to someone who needs help. An opportunity to make more out of your life in whatever way that makes sense to you. What if you got up every single day and looked at your life as a wonder and approached every person and everything with the same sense of awe? Wow, what a day, right? All of a sudden, the simple things are incredible. The sky's more vivid blue. The clouds take on all sorts of shape. Kind of like when you were a kid and the world was this great big playground. Remember being a kid? That kid's still inside you, even if you don't let them out to play anymore. What a shame it is to grow old and stuffy and set in your ways. Would you rather grow old while still being cool, full of life, open to new things? Quote, stand in wonder and awe of the simple things, and life will not pass you by. I wrote that. I'm certain that if you can do this, you'll approach every day with the same enthusiasm. I'm writing this on a Sunday morning while my wife and kids sleep. The uninterrupted quiet time is nice, but what's really cool is having something that gets you feeling that good about what you're doing and keeps you juiced up, even early on a Sunday morning. Do you want that kind of excitement about work? How about just daily living? Do you want to be excited just to be alive? Ask yourself this question: why can't I? And now give yourself the answer. It's too hard, it's too far. You're not smart enough, you're too tall, you're too lazy, you're too dumb, no money, too old, too young. You can fill in a couple dozen more if you'd like. Now ask yourself this question: how can I? It's a more powerful question, isn't it? It gives you a different feeling because it's not a negative question, which, by the way, will always give you a negative answer. Look for words that help you take a positive action. Say things like this: I'm going to. How can I? Is there a way to? Once you get your mind to focus on positive ideas, that feeling comes with taking action will follow. But even better than that feeling of I'm not smart enough or good enough, it starts to get replaced by thoughts of I can do that. Maybe you can't do that, but I can do that. So the first thing you have to change is the attitude of reaction as opposed to taking action. What exactly does that mean? Well, let's say you knew a tree limb could fall on your car in the driveway. You can park on the street until that tree limb falls, or you can get off your lazy ass and cut the tree limb off. Now, that allows you to park in your driveway under your own terms, clearly, right? But that's really overly simplistic. And how many people do you think have branches waiting to fall? Probably millions. But how can you take a simple example and use that metaphor to your advantage? So you take a minute, think about things in your life that need tending to, okay? Because that's all we're talking about, right? Tending to matters in your own life, whether it's a tree branch or a bad relationship. So start today with one thing. Tomorrow, what the heck, try two. By day 4, you'll feel the weight of the world is being lifted from your shoulders because you took action. And I mean that. Now start. Get back to your life and get your life back. Michael F. McDougall, speaker, author, motivator, trainer. I wrote this in 2009.